The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Beauty. I'm your host, Sharon, owner of Green Envy Salon Spa in downtown Nashua. And today my co-host is Dr. Jerrilyn Sullivan of Main St Chiropractic and Wellness. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. How's the winter so far?
The snow is a problem, but other than that, it's good, yeah.
The snow
it's good
is
for business, yeah.
I know, right? We'll see what happens with the rest of the winter, but it hasn't been too bad so far.
No, a little cold for me.
Yeah, the cold weather is starting to settle in.
How are you doing after your big competition?
I'm eating like a pig.
Yeah.
I am eating everything and anything and drinking and enjoying the holidays and going to start shredding again in January, so I'm not worried about it.
Training for another event?
I haven't decided. I think I'm going to just train hard, and if I feel like I can get my body ready to do the level up, which would be figure, then I will, but I'm going to kind of keep it under wraps this time and kind of wait and see what happens.
Good.
Yeah.
So a lot of time and energy.
It is. It's a lot of work, and I did enjoy it, but I am enjoying not having the stress of not being able to eat anything, especially when you're at parties. And, you know, Thanksgiving was a beautiful, lovely, filling meal that I got to eat everything. So it's been great.
Yeah, the holidays are hard. You
Yeah.
just want to eat and have cocktails. And
Yeah. Tonight I'm actually having my customer appreciation at my salon from 5 p.m. to 8, so we're having like gift certificate incentives and product discounts for the holidays and some nice snacks for my clients and some wine, and so hopefully it'll be a good turnout.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll come by and have a glass of wine.
Yeah, 5 to 8, we'll be there.
There, okay,
Yeah.
sounds
You
good.
have to come check out my salon.
I haven't seen your salon
I know,
yet.
so you have to come.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe Dr. Bigelow and I will come by for a drink.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So speaking of him, let's introduce him to our show today.
So I'm excited to have Dr. Brian Bigelow here. He's been a chiropractor for 30 years here in Nashua. And we're very excited. Next year, we're actually going to be merging our practices. Mm-hmm. So we're going to partner up.
It's exciting.
And it is very exciting, yes. So I get to practice with somebody that has 30 years of practice and knowledge and expertise, and he's just a good guy.
Yeah,
So-
it's great when you know that you can work well with someone, you know, and get along and have that kind of connection as far as being in the business for 30 years. So you've been in Nashua for that long?
For 30 years in the same office.
The same
that I
office.
started in,
Wow.
which
so
is hard to believe.
This is going to be probably a little hard for you to kind of like make this little merge to your new location.
Oh yeah, I've been thinking about that, you know, because I've been there. The original owner of the building is no longer there. The building was, you know, bought again by another person, and so I've gone through all of that. So I've been there longer than anyone in the building. So
Well, I bet. Wow.
yeah. So yeah, it's exciting to. It's kind of neat on one hand, like, you know, it's nice to have change, you know, and to do something different and kind of get out of your comfort zone, you know, just like your event, you know, I'm sure, like,
Yeah.
you know, to do that and to challenge yourself and to grow and like you said, we hit it off really well. Just the two of us think a lot alike as far as, you know, in practice and in business and just in life. So it's nice to have another person, like Jerrilyn said, to bounce ideas off of and
And this
things
kind
like
of came
that.
about, you kind of helped out, right? Subbing for you while you were gone on your
It
amazing
was,
honeymoon.
Yes, it was kind of, I guess all the worlds and stars came together
Yeah.
because Dr. Bigelow had been thinking about finding another chiropractor to partner with thought has been going on for a few years, you had said. And I had thought about it too, but so I was getting married, and then the doctor that was going to cover for me fell through. And literally, the day that happened, he just happened to come by the office to drop off some x-rays, you know, and just
So
out
you
of
have
the
been
blue.
collaborating, doing business. Have you done?
No, we have sometimes we have patients that, you know, go from our office to other doctors' offices, and so he was dropping off some x-rays that belonged to our practice
Okay.
just because he'd been driving them around in the car with them, and
Yeah.
he came in and And I said, oh, I met him, and I was kind of in a frenzy because I didn't have a coverage. And he's like, I don't work Fridays. I could cover for you, which he graciously did. And then he says, and let me just bounce this idea off of you. And he did. And I said, that's so strange because I've been thinking about that too. And so when I got back from my honeymoon, we've talked quite a bit about it. And so it just seems like it's the right thing because everything is sort of meshing together.
So how will that work for you? How does that work when you merge?
Well, it's nice because I have my own practice and then she has her own practice. So it's really just moving location, and then her facility is big enough to handle an extra practitioner because she had associates there. So
Yep.
she has enough, rooms, treatment rooms and things like that. So it'll just be all the details of, getting, the patient's information from the computer onto the new computer system and,
Okay.
and moving some equipment and things like that. But it's almost really like I could just, grab my glasses and a pen and just go over there and just, start working because everything's kind of there. So it'll be a matter of trying to figure out what to take, what to, leave there and that type of
So
thing.
you have a computer system where you are?
Yes, as well.
Okay.
But she's got a more updated one.
Yeah.
So I'll just, and it's funny because I had looked at that one too with this whole electronic health records that all of the medical offices are going to. So I've been kind of auditioning different ones, and that was one of the ones that I liked the most out of all the ones that I looked at, and she just happens to have that one. So it's kind of like, serendipity, I guess you could say.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will be, so you have a name for your practice and you have a name for your practice. So how does that work?
It's Main Street Chiropractic, and I had originally chosen that name so that it was more of a generic location name, thinking that at some point in time I'd like to have other doctors come in rather than Sullivan Chiropractic.
Okay.
So,
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
so it'll be Main Street Chiropractic, but it'll be a partnership between Dr. Bigelow and myself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as a business person, he'll keep his website and phone numbers. And so the hardest part will be for patients to transition over because, like my practice, patients just drop in. They haven't been in for months. So he's probably going to go through that as well, where patients haven't been in for months and they go to his office like, oh,
right.
Yeah.
where is he?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so we'll have to do a lot of, sending out postcards and letters and save the date and all of the things that have to go with that.
Right.
Because like you said, there'll be someone who comes, 2 years from now, they'll just come walking into the door and there'll be like an attorney's office there or something like that or whatever.
So you will have the same phone number.
Yes.
And how
yes.
will that work?
yeah, I'm sure the phone company. We just add another line.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
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 Because
So-
we have I have one main line and then we'll just add that to her line so when that phone rings, everyone will know that,
So you've just been by yourself over there for
Yeah,
all these years?
Well, I actually started with my father, who was a chiropractor in Nashua, way back in. He started in 1958 or so. So he was a
Yeah.
chiropractor. There's several older chiropractors in town. Some have moved on, some have retired, some have passed away. And
Right.
it's funny because there was a Dr. Fasulo who was originally in her building, that the predecessor to her, Carol, had bought his practice, and I knew him, and my dad knew him, and things like that too. So he had a home and office in Nashua when I first started, and then we looked for a bigger place, and that's the one we found, the location that I'm in, and it's worked because it was a good central location, so never had to move or do anything. So
And you're on exit 4, you said?
I'm at exit 5
5.
east, and
Okay.
and her office is like
Exit
literally about
4.
2 miles down the road.
Right.
I go down Lake Street and it's right there. So
Yeah. It's funny, that whole area, because I live in the south end, so I can take, every exit and get to my house very easily.
yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
it's kind of convenient. Now, do you have any massage therapists that you've had on board with you?
yeah, we have 2 rooms that we rent out to massage therapists, and
Okay.
I have another chiropractor who works part-time a couple days a week as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what will happen with them? Will they be
Well, we're in the process of just letting everybody know and
figuring it out?
figuring out what people want to do, like that type of thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of like in the very beginning stages
Right.
of
Yeah,
just
'cause
planning
it-
all of this stuff
It's going to take
out.
time, so that way when you
Yes.
guys are ready, you have everything.
Right. He'll take his
Yeah.
glasses and drive to the new office
Yeah.
that day. And
Yeah, and
The
hopefully
patients will
I'll
be
probably
waiting.
take the same exit and I'll drive by my office and say, see ya,
I know, right?
then hopefully I won't pull in there in the parking
Yeah.
lot. You know, and say,
You might have those, couple of moments
Yeah.
where you're just going to automatic. I mean, 30
Yeah.
years is a long time.
I know. Well, I figure I'll take the same exit and then I'll just go down Lake Street because it's probably, or go to the next exit, exit 4, you know, depending on the traffic, I guess. So it'll be,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be funny.
How many massage therapists do you have?
We have two.
Two.
We have two, yeah.
I've been to both of them. They're very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. I'm
Very
glad.
good. I actually need to come see you and actually get a massage too.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
haven't been adjusted
I haven't
for a
been.
while.
I know, since my competition. Crazy.
Yeah, you're not working out as much. That's
No,
the
I'm
thing, yeah.
packing on the weight right now.
Yeah, I think we're all doing it for
Yeah.
the winter. Winter and
It's the time of
holidays is
year.
tough.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to worry about it. So, you are also very involved in athletic things as well, right?
Yeah,
So, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I started off when I first moved back and became a chiropractor. I had done some triathlons in chiropractic school, and then I actually was doing a few at the very beginning of practice, and then it kind of got to the point where it's hard to find the time to swim and bike and run your practice. So I think I switched over to mountain biking and did that for a while, and then I switched over to running and started running some marathons and did the marathon in Ireland for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
In Ireland?
In Ireland, yes.
Oh, really?
So that was fun. You know, where you raise money for
Yeah.
them, and then if you raise a certain amount, then you can go over there, and they take a whole bunch of people over there to do that, and had so much fun doing that when I said, I want to do this again next year, so I did that next year, and then I qualified for Boston, so then of course you have to run Boston,
Yeah.
you know, and then once you run Boston, you say, well, I qualified again, so I have to run next year. So I did 8 marathons in 5 years. And,
Oh, really?
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Then I got back into cycling, and then somewhere along the way, I was coaching as well, coaching triathletes and for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society
Oh,
as
wow.
well. So I was coaching cyclists for 100-mile bike rides and then triathlons and marathons too. So I did that for many years.
So, how did you get involved in that? Did people come to you, or because you belong to an association that people you kind of communicated?
I ran 5 marathons for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Yeah.
So, and just kept fundraising, because once you do one, then everybody comes up to you and says, oh, you're running the marathon next year? And they say, and you say, sure. And they say, are you doing it for team and training? And you say, yes, I am. And so they say, okay, I'll contribute something. So I just continued doing that. And then they also need coaches for the people who are doing the events with them, because a lot of the athletes or the people are coming in, they're just new to the sport.
Yeah.
So they need help. You know, so first I was a cycling coach for them, because they needed a New Hampshire cycling coach. Then they needed a New Hampshire running coach, and then they needed a triathlon coach. So I just moved into whatever need that they had, and did that for 5 or 10 years as well.
Do you have a coach? When you?
No. It's funny that he says that, because I was just telling him today, and last time we talked, I said, I've been so unmotivated since I got back from my honeymoon. I said, I need to sign up for an event. He said, you just need to sign up for an event and do it.
True.
And then Dr. Bigelow, Brian said, oh, well, I'll do it with you. I'll train with you and do it. And I'm thinking, boy, if I sign up and commit to that, then I know I'm really going to have to
But that
do
would be
it.
great if you.
It would be
You
great.
could have somebody that
Yeah.
that's involved in it and knows how to train for it. I mean, that's everything. Trust me. After training for this competition that I did, I trained myself, but I got my meal plans from somebody. So what a science, and what it was like a wow factor, like the weight I was losing and how I was feeling, and and the posing lessons and stuff. So you need people like that in your life to kind of achieve that goal.
Well, I had a coach for swimming, because I really didn't know how to swim before I did my first sprint triathlon. I thought, well, how hard can it be? I mean, I could swim and keep above
Yeah.
water, but I had never swam a lap. I've never taken like a formal lesson. So I ignorantly signed up for the triathlon course at the Y. Have you taken that? Or maybe you were one of the coaches. So they have different lanes, and the first lane are like the new people, and the lanes over here are people that are doing Ironman and all this stuff. So the coach had done like 2 or 3 Ironman, and he says, okay, let me see what you have. So I swim down. This is in January. I swim back, and he says to me, so when's this triathlon? And I didn't have the stroke. I didn't have anything. And he's like, I said, so my confidence level went way down. But I did that twice a week. I went to 2 different triathlon classes, one at 6 o'clock in the morning, one at the end of the day after. Huge, just, having them help you with your stroke and your breathing, and made a world of difference, because when you get into a lake and you got to swim across the lake, it's not the same as swimming across a pool.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's a little unnerving. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, the biggest thing is people are so used to swimming. We call it open water swimming. So you're used to, you're in a pool and you see the bottom, and you swim to the other side, you turn around, you come back, and it's a nice, controlled, comfortable environment. Then you get out to the
Lake and you can't see anything.
you can't see anything, and then there's 100, 200 people around you, and their arms are paddling, and you have to be careful not to get kicked in the face. Some people get their goggles knocked off, and then
Wow.
now what are they going to do in the salt water?
Elbows, yeah,
Or something like that.
yeah.
Now, what's the difference between a triathlon, I can't even say that word, and the Ironman? Is that what you said?
Well, Ironman is just a designation of the triathlon. It started a long time ago in Hawaii. Some crazy guys got together and said, how about if we swim 2.5 miles across the bay, then we'll get on our bikes and ride 112 miles or something, and then run a marathon. And then so they got together, like 10 or 15 people to do this, and then that became, they just kind of did it as this informal thing to see, like for bragging rights. And then once they did it, they started talking about it and hyping it up to their friends, and then everyone started saying, well, I want to do that next year. So it grew from that. And so the Ironman is the full length triathlon. We do those distances.
Okay.
And then since the sport kind of evolved, they said, well, let's do a half Ironman for the people who can't quite commit to that type thing. And then there's the Olympics, which does everything in metric. So they do 1.5K swim, 40K bike, and then 10K run.
So what's the longest? Which one of those?
So the longest one is the Ironman one.
The Iron. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
And
kind of
that's how many miles of biking and running and swimming?
it's 2.5, usually 2.4, 2.5 swim, then 112-mile bike.
I can't imagine
and
swimming
then a full
for
marathon.
2.5
Yeah.
miles.
Well, like a half a mile, which I've done the sprint, is a half a mile swim. It's like equivalent to, I think, 18 football fields. Is that right? So imagine swimming 18 football fields.
No.
Without stopping. You're.
It seems real daunting, but then
Yeah.
once you
How long
practice,
do you train for that? How long should you really train for something like that?
6 months at least. I mean, 6 months and then the last 3 months you're working hard, kind of like what you did. I mean, I don't know. I haven't. You're the coach.
well, most people build up to that, just like someone doesn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to do a marathon next month, because you
Right, you're gonna
physically
train
couldn't do
for
it.
it.
So you probably minimum of 4 months of training. But if you're a regular runner, and then you decide to do a marathon, you could probably ramp up in 3 months or something like that.
Is there a meal plan that you guys follow when you train for something like this? Do you eat, you know what I mean? Like, I had to eat very, 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 very clean to train for my goal, but that was a physical goal. But I can only imagine you can't just eat whatever you want if you're going to do a triathlon. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
like, carbs and cakes and like.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it-
mean, I think
have
you
to eat a little
drop.
bit more
The first
healthier.
time I dropped 30 pounds, but I gave up sugars. I ate complex carbs.
Yeah.
I didn't drink alcohol because I didn't want to get up the next morning and
Yeah.
after drinking, and then lots of protein. But one of the things I did find, which was exciting, is I dropped all that weight, and then I was working out more towards the end. I was eating like 3,000 calories a day and still losing half a pound a week, which wasn't good because then after the triathlon, my appetite was
Right.
the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, what do you feel about the nutrition?
Oh yeah, well, I think it goes across the board. There's some people who don't eat as good as they should, but then their performance is going to suffer too. And then they see their friend who's doing better than them and say, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I tried this new protein powder, or I got this meal plan, or I got this cookbook. There's the triathlon cookbook or different things like that. So, yes.
It does make a big, big, big difference, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so too.
I don't feel, and I don't even know, I'm kind of excited to get back into the eating clean and all that, because I don't feel like I felt, you know what I mean? I feel bloated and, all those, it's just such a big difference of how you feel, the way you eat and you live your life.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then if you say you're doing a triathlon or a marathon, and then you do really well, everyone's so competitive. They say, well, what can I do better the next time? Like, how can I run like 5 minutes faster? So maybe like you said, maybe I'll cut out that one
Sugar
that
or
one
whatever.
bowl of ice cream that I have on Friday night or something like that.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it is. So
Yeah.
because you're constantly, you want to push yourself, and then you have your friends around you, you're competitive with. So
Now, they typically hold them here, I would say, just like the spring and summer, so you would have to figure out that would be something that you wanted to do.
Oh, I have to I have to decide now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will see, because last year I had my new hip and I wasn't ready. So this year I figure I get my new hip. I'm
Yeah.
feeling good.
Yep.
We have the Y-Tri, and then we have the paddle. Is that on by the Y too? The paddle bike, and
I think that's a different group that.
it's a different group
downtown
that does
yeah.
that. There's another one that instead of swimming, you paddle a kayak,
Oh.
and then you bike, and then you run. So if you don't like
I'd rather
swimming,
do, I would,
yeah.
I could go for that one.
yeah, that, and we were talking about that too. And I think my husband would do that too, because he doesn't like to swim. You know, it bothers his shoulder. So
Well, it was just for me, I mean, when you told me you could swim across a lake, I'm like, I don't even go in a lake,
Yeah.
never mind. Like, if I
Yeah.
can't see what I'm
you just wear
swimming
black
with?
goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wear the darkest goggles I can find. So when I look down, I don't really see anything swimming underneath
Well, I
me.
would train for something like that if I did
Yeah.
a kayak one or running.
Yeah, maybe it's something we could do together.
Yeah.
There's an Iron Girl that I've done 3 times, and that's a sprint, and that's a half a mile swim, 12-mile bike, a couple of good-sized hills, and then you run a 5K at the end. And that's not so bad. It's rolling, and that's in Massachusetts in July. And then there's a Title IX, which is all women. I haven't done a co-ed event. I'm sure Dr. Bigelow has. But the women's tend to be more forgiving. I mean, the men are very competitive. You know,
Yeah.
if you get elbowed in the head by a guy versus a
Right.
woman, I mean, it hurts either way. But
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the one that I'm going to try to do this summer. My goal is to do 2 this summer. Once I get motivated, and if I have Brian pushing me.
Yeah.
So-
You'll both have to sign up.
My husband was very happy when I told him about it. He says, "Oh, good," because I was getting him up at 5 o'clock in the morning to swim and bike, and
Yeah.
he was training right along with me, and he wasn't even doing the triathlon.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
Yeah.
what a trooper.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good guy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My husband would not be doing that.
No.
I'm like, all right, I get home from work. Some days I'd work out twice a day. I would do my cardio sprint training in the morning at Orange Theory, which that's what I kind of call it, more
Yeah.
of a cardio sprint workout.
Right. Yeah. Cross training.
And then I would go to the gym at night and do my heavy lifting, and I'd be like, okay, hi, bye, I'm going.
Yeah.
So it was really crazy, a lot of work, but he's all set.
Yeah.
Because he does construction.
And he supported you. Yeah. He
Yeah, he
works
definitely
hard. He
supported
works
me.
hard during the day.
Yeah. So I can understand. He does physical labor, and he doesn't want to, come home at 6 o'clock and eat. All right, I'm going to go to the gym now.
Oh yeah, I know. I ask some patients who they do drywall for a living, for example, and you say, "Oh, do you go to the gym?" And they go, "Oh no, my work is my gym," because they're lifting up, 50-pound pieces of drywall all day long. So like you said,
it's
when they
physical.
get home at the end of the day, they want to relax. But then the office person who sits at the desk all day, when they get out, they want to go to the gym because they haven't done anything all day. So.
Yeah, I met a couple of girls that are very much into the weightlifting scene, and they're. I have a lot of respect for them because they never took a break. Here I am eating, and they see posts on Facebook and them posing and still looking, amazing,
yeah.
right? But they're younger than me, and I respect them. But it's a lifestyle, it's a dedication.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if you're a runner, you're always going to be a runner.
Well, like the guy, that reminds me of the story, the guy who won the Hawaii Ironman maybe like 10, 15 years ago, he had won it several times, but once he won that event, and his girlfriend was a triathlete as well, he said he would go to McDonald's, he would get like the Big Mac, the Big Mac with cheese, the large vanilla shake, and the large fries, and then he would just sit there and he would say, and I would just like eat it and just enjoy it, because that was his, that's once a year, and that was it. And so after he won the event, he would go there, do that thing, and then
You probably got sick.
I bet he was
yeah.
miserable. Yeah.
They probably
Do you know
felt,
the last? I don't even. You say vanilla shake from McDonald's
Oh.
and Big Mac. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't
I
even,
don't even know.
remember.
I think I was a teenager last
Right,
time
the
I had
last time,
McDonald's.
and I used
Yeah.
to love that too. But I
Yeah.
don't even think about going
Yeah,
to
it's
have that.
horrifying.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my treat is like a burger and French fries or nachos or pizza.
And a real burger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A real burger, not no McDonald's.
No.
Oh,
That's
so this
great.
is exciting.
Yeah, we're very excited about it.
yeah,
We got a
that's-
lot. We have a lot to do over the next. It seems it's going to run by fast. I
Oh,
think.
I know. Yeah, because we've been talking for a couple months, and we talked about, okay, by the end of the year we want to have this done, and it's like she said, it's amazing how fast time goes by. Because you get up in the morning, like you said, you go to work on Monday morning, and next thing you know, it's Friday afternoon. Where did the week go? And
Right.
then it's
I
like the
tell you.
weekend, and you know how that
It's
goes.
crazy. Yeah, the
Right.
weeks just go by so fast.
Right.
The older we get, it was just Sunday, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and you
know.
want to spend time with your family on the weekend. My husband, my kids, his wife, and
Yeah.
and
So you have to put more time in since this all happened, where you've
I
been?
think we're probably going to have to start over the next, probably this summer. We'll have to ramp up some more hours and planning, and because we were just talking about promoting today, and there's a lot involved. Well, you own your own
Yeah.
business, and but the exciting thing is he's been in business and practice for 30 years. So I'm not going into business with a newbie, So
Right.
so there's a lot of stuff that we can both say, well, I tried that didn't work, and he can say, yeah, I tried that didn't work, and because he has so many patients and I have so many patients, we have a lot of resources, and we're involved with a lot of things in our community. So we're really excited about joining forces
Yeah.
and be able to help each other and cover for each other, and just it's going to be nice to have a partner to bounce things off and just talk with. Plus, he was talking about the older chiropractors. We're the old chiropractors now,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
right.
Yeah, I know.
which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
which
How
is
did that
kinda-
happen?
Yeah, when did
Which is
that
kinda
all
silly,
happen?
right?
Yeah,
It's like, oh.
exactly.
Yeah, the old timers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be with another old timer because everybody that works for me is 30 and under, and
Now your
So-
parents weren't in the business. right?
no,
just-
they
so
were
you
blue
just-
collar workers. Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. So
So you
they
just-
had their own business, but they weren't in healthcare professions. Yeah.
Okay.
I was the first one to go to college in my family.
Did you always want to be a chiropractor? Or did
I
it just
wanted to
kinda-
do something in the health
Yeah?
industry. It sort of fell into it. Yeah.
Ah.
So, but I love it.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to be passionate. That's the thing. We share the same passion, which is nice.
Yeah, me being a business owner, a stylist, I'm very I love going to work every day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Me too.
We work very hard. You get to work so long in life that who wants to go to work and be miserable hating your job every day?
Exactly.
If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, as they say.
Right.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. And that's a wrap for our show. Again, see, I told you it goes by so
It's
fast.
exciting.
Yeah.
So fast. Thanks for coming on today. Thanks for coming
Thank
back
you.
again. And
You're welcome.
thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.